We are here today, ladies and gentlemen, because of the general dissatisfaction with our port operations. From government as the owner of the port to users of the port, shipping lines, exporters, importers, terminal operators, we are all dissatisfied because of the overall procedures, delays, lack of transparency in some cases, and the complexity in port operations. Part of the problem has been the inadequate oversight by the owner of the port, that is the government of Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, under Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, this is going to change. We are moving away from a system of applying unnecessary, complex, and expensive procedures at the port to a system which meets international standards. The port, or our ports, are our national assets. We need value for money, and we are going to insist on it. Our port operations, if we are frank with ourselves, have not lived up to international standards. On May 17th this year, I announced 3 measures to take effect from 1st of September, God willing. These were the removal of customs barriers within the country, mandatory joint inspections, and a paperless port. To achieve these 3 targets by September 1st, we worked closely with the stakeholders with the aim of automating and streamlining the services they provide while avoiding duplication of efforts. I would like to thank the committee headed by the Honorable Carlos Ahinkra, the Ghana Revenue Authority, Ghana Ports and Harbors Authority, Ship Owners and Agents Association of Ghana, terminal operators, regulatory agencies, the National Risk Management Committee, amongst others. Our consultations with stakeholders revealed that ultimately the only papers which should be allowed at the port are the waybill and the bill of lading. And so we have made an exception for these 2. Our goal within the next 6 months is to have a robust risk engine which will grant customs clearance in a maximum of 4 hours. Dubai Customs, for example, is able to grant customs clearance in 1.5 seconds. And so Ghana can definitely aim for 4 hours, for within 4 hours. But I believe we can do much, much better. But we are giving ourselves some room. In the short term, we will begin the implementation of a risk clearance system at the pre-arrival stage, and this will make it possible for compliant importers to sit in their comfort of their homes or offices and get customs clearance. Every activity under this system will be fed into the risk engine to enable us keep records of importers. Furthermore, we would be introducing the first port rule in Ghana. This provides the avenue for duty of goods destined for countries like Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, or Togo to be paid here in Ghana. So this should provide a check on dumping of goods destined for our neighboring countries in Ghana. The GRA is in discussions already with Côte d'Ivoire and the other countries. So if you come in and you tell us, oh, I want to take my goods to Burkina Faso, we'll point you to the Burkina desk to go and pay your duty before you leave the port. So if you decide to end in Kumasi, that will be your problem. Our goal within the next 6 months is to have a robust engine, as I said, to achieve our short and medium-term goals of port efficiency. We sought the opinions of independent third parties with international experience to conduct a gap analysis and recommend solutions. Dubai Customs are collaborating with Ghana Customs to conduct a gap analysis with the aim of raising our customs service delivery to a world-class one. We expect the cooperation of all stakeholders to ensure port efficiency. All of you have been engaged and must aim to do your part to make our port paperless. We will not really accept any excuses. Agencies or service providers who are really not ready to go paperless by September 1st will not be allocated any cargo. On the removal of internal customs barriers, these barriers will be redundant in the long term with the introduction of the first port rule in Ghana. Duties will be paid on goods destined for re-export, and with the new automated gate opening system at the port, which will be linked to the risk engine. So we will be able to make sure in this context that no vehicle will be able to leave the port without paying their duty. We will also push for the introduction of intelligent 3D scanners, and this would be an improvement over the 2D scanners we currently have. On mandatory joint inspections from 1st of September this year, we are not going to physically open and inspect all containers. We are introducing a risk engine, as I said, which will assign risk levels to importers based on their level of compliance. When the need arises for inspections, the agencies needed for inspections will be informed about the inspection time and place for joint inspections, and they will have to sign in on an electronic device at the inspection shed to confirm their participation. Now, ongoing paperless at the port. With the help and cooperation of all the stakeholders at the port, and I have to thank all of you, we have mapped out a process flow which will take effect from 1st September 2017. Agencies and stakeholders presented paperless process flows which we have merged into a process flow that will enable compliant importers to really sit in the comfort of their offices or homes and get customs clearance. Terminals which are not ready for automation by 1st September will be left behind, and people who do not comply will be sanctioned. Every activity by importers will be fed into the risk engine as we build risk profiles for importers and exporters. So what are the highlights of this new process flow that we are talking about? Starting with pre-clearance. First, all entities will be registered electronically on a shared platform on the customs pre-arrival system in accordance with existing regulations. So all entities will be registered electronically. Validation will be made with the TIN database and the National Identification System when it is rolled out. 2, all products requiring registration with regulatory agencies will be registered electronically in a shared platform on the customs pre-arrival system in accordance with existing agency regulations. 3, traders will obtain required licenses, permits, and certificates pre-arrival of goods via the EMDA platform. These licenses, permits, and certificates will be mandatory for the issuance of a Customs Classification Valuation Report, the CCVR. Copies will be seamlessly transferred from the EMDA platform to the pre-arrival platform. This means that all regulatory permits, licenses, and certificates will now be presented pre-arrival and not at arrival. This will ensure compliance checks of documents, reconciliation, and effective risk management for a clearance release decision to be made before the arrival of the goods. An enhanced valuation database will also be introduced, and this will ensure credible and consistent values for assessment. We're looking at the values for assessment for one particular vehicle, and you saw for this one vehicle, you had about 17 different values over a short period of time for just one vehicle, same year, same engine. It's very inconsistent. We want to introduce more consistency. Fifthly, air and sea manifests will be submitted electronically at pre-arrival by airlines and shipping lines to the customs pre-arrival system with real-time onward transmission to the gigs. This means that manifests which are now presented at pre-arrival and not at arrival will ensure compliance checks of documents. Air and sea manifests will be shared in real time with all the necessary entities and agencies, and manifest administration will be conducted on the same platforms with amendments and changes shared on real time. So we should all be on the same platform once these manifests are submitted. They should be shared across. 6, customs compliance will be embedded in the Customs Technical Services Bureau to ensure a holistic management of all document checks. So this combined team of officers will ensure the holistic management of all documentary checks with a central customs decision point on outcomes. This, ladies and gentlemen, means that the long room, our famous long room, will now be scrapped. It will be history from 1st September. The CCVR declaration will be enhanced with a declaration statement and electronic signature by the declarant. This new feature will provide enhanced document security and legal position, which will include the two-strike rule I'll be talking about. So every declaration has to be signed so that we know who is signing on to the declaration. 8, the concept of a single submission of data will be applied where all data from the pre-arrival system with West Blue will be seamlessly and electronically transferred to the customs management system of GCNet for onward processing of bill of entry, duties, and fees calculation, bonded warehouse, free zone, transit management, cargo release to ensure there is no duplication of functions. Payment of duties and fees may be made electronically via existing modes of payment or on Ghana's trading hub, which accepts mobile money, Visa cards, GX-Link cards, online, and branch payments. Fees and duties payment will be made electronically with duty payments made available via all banks in addition to EcoBank and GCB. Right now, that limitation to just 2 banks will go away, and we will allow all banks to be able to receive and make payments. A national risk clearance system will be introduced to include pre-clearance, clearance, and post-clearance processes fed by data from all systems. This new risk clearance system will form the backbone of all trading activities to enable us release compliant goods within hours with the effective management of non-compliant transactions. If the risk level is high for the high-risk importers, all the relevant agencies will be notified about the time for joint inspection via Joint Inspection Management System, a component of the National Risk Management System. Strict sanctions will be imposed on all declarants presenting falsified documents. There will be a 2-strike rule, not a 3-strike rule. This will, for the first strike, will be a punitive fine, and the second will be a complete ban. Strict sanctions will be imposed on customs and regulatory agency officers involved in fraudulent practices. So this is pre-clearance. Now we're talking about clearance. On clearance, on goods in customs bonded warehouses, we're introducing a system which will link the number of warehousing days to an importer's bond or confirmed LC. Once the warehousing days expire, the system will automatically call on the confirmed LC or bond based on how much duty is owed government. We will not accept the practice of allowing goods to overstay in bonded warehouses. Once there is a bond supported by this LC, when the time comes, we are automatically calling on that LC. Terminal operators, shipping line systems will integrate seamlessly with gigs on GCNet to ensure effective management, container management, storage management, and shipping line release. The new online and integrated port processes will reduce the physical presence of people at the ports to ensure expedited goods release while reducing traders' time and cost. The port terminal operating systems will also integrate seamlessly with the gigs for effective port management, notifications, container positioning and opening, waybill management, examination, customs release, and delivery release. The Ghana Standards Authority, ladies and gentlemen, will be responsible for all inspection activities, inspection and testing activities at the ports, except for the products regulated by the Food and Drugs Authority, which include food, drugs, cosmetics, household chemical substances, medical devices, and tobacco products, where the FDA will undertake inspection and testing and share the data with the appropriate agencies. The new joint inspection and testing regime will therefore significantly reduce the time and cost of clearance by effectively coordinating regulatory examination officers for risk management. Joint inspection by regulatory agencies will be managed as part of the National Risk Management System, supported by an HS Code Management System and Task Manager for coordination. The scanned images will be made available to gigs on GCNet and the Risk Management System on West Blue to assist the physical examinations and post-clearance orders. So the integration of scanned images in relevant systems will therefore aid better decisions and risk outcomes. Clearance process for GPHA terminals. The importer or agent submits a request electronically to the shipping lines for delivery of the consignment with the original electronic bill of lading. The importer then presents the bill of lading to the shipping line to confirm title to the goods. This is legally required to be paper. Shipping line then will issue an invoice to the customer for payment. The invoices will cover freight, container deposit, demurrage, and administrative charges as necessary. The agent pays the invoice value, and fees and charges may be paid using existing modes of payment or electronically via the Ghana's Trading Hub portal using mobile money, Visa, MasterCard, GH-Link, online banking, or in-branch payment. After payment to the shipping line account, the shipping line will issue the delivery order via the gigs and GCNet to the terminal and consignees. The importer makes a request to GPHA terminal to take delivery of the consignment. GPHA assesses the shipping line release status and ability to provide service by the required date in the terminal operating system. GPHA will then generate an invoice via Ghana's Trading Hub. Then the importer will make payment online or in a branch bank. Receiving bank will send the electronic payment receipt to the GPHA terminal. GPHA then receives the payment, the container is positioned for delivery, and an SMS will be sent to the importer to pick the container. Regulatory entities will be notified by the Joint Inspection System for scanning and joint physical inspection where anomalies are detected. The GPHA therefore issues a delivery allow, and an electronic notification is sent to the importer or agent. The GPA will then issue a way bill and the importer can leave the port. This process should happen seamlessly, and we are now hoping to integrate the gate system within the risk management engine so that when the importer is leaving the port, as happens in other first-class ports, it's electronic. If you've paid your duty and it checks out, it will automatically open for you to pass. We don't expect anybody to sit down and say, oh, we want to check you for A, B, C, D at the gate anymore. So you can pass through once you have satisfied these things. So we are hoping that September 1st, we move electronic. We have tried at this stage to integrate the systems we have already, but to eliminate the duplication that we have to ensure that we make the systems more seamless. And this is what we are hoping to achieve, and we believe that with your cooperation, if we have furthermore a fully operating risk engine by the end of the year, I think that our 4-hour target will be met. But I think we all should put our shoulders to the wheel and get this thing working by September 1st. I think it will really help this economy to reduce a lot of hassle for the importers, and it will make the finance minister very happy. Very, very happy, because we believe then that, valuation will be very, very easy, and to reduce the headache also for my customs officers in the process. So I am most grateful for your presence here. We did promise that we are coming in with some new measures after talking to all of you. I'd like to thank Carlos, who is been very, very helpful in his committee, and all of you. I think that we've done this as a Ghana project. We've not done this as, a project just at the presidency alone, which really encompasses all of Ghana. But we've really brought everybody together. Everybody has been consulted, and so for the stakeholders, this is not a big surprise. But we expect to see major efficiency at the ports. Starting September 1, we will monitor and see how it works, and hopefully we will move Ghana a few notches higher. But this is just, for me, the beginning. We will continue to seek efficiency improving measures in the ports as we go.